What's going on, everyone? Trav here with Chaotic Strategies. I got something really exciting to talk about tonight's video. Bandai is doing it again. We are getting an English release of the Digimon TCG this coming January 2021. Somewhere around late January, I believe. Everything's just kind of tentative right now. I'm super excited about this, like a lot, but at the same time I'm skeptical. Bandai, has kind of had a bad track record with some of these CCGs and TCGs. Now, granted, they teamed up with Upper Deck yet again, which is fantastic. I mean, Upper Deck is a fantastic card company within itself, but through the original Dragon Ball series, we had, the Dragon Ball CCG, which I was a huge collector of. I still have all of my cards from the original sets, the Saiyan Saga all the way up to GT, and then it died. It died off, completely, and then the cards weren't worth anything, and then in 2017, Bandai revamped the Dragon Ball CCG after the release of Super, and that's been taken off like substantially. I mean, Super is they revamped the play style, they revamped kind of how you play the game, so Super's really taken off. So kudos to them for that. And then also we had the Naruto saga, coming in back in the day, and then we had Naruto Shippuden, and then again it dropped off. The cards became pretty well useless. You can't find anybody that really sells them because they're not popular. And then even with the release of Boruto, the next generation side of everything for Naruto with the anime, they came out with some of the cards that are still playable with the original Naruto and Naruto Shippuden cards. But, we don't really see, we're not done with Boruto yet, so I'm pretty sure there's still going to be some cards, coming out for that. But, I mean, the whole Naruto CCG just kind of died altogether. I mean, you're not seeing any big plays coming from Bandai for that. Early on, in the early days of Digimon, when I was a kid, when it came out, I think there was like 5, 6, maybe even 7 TCG games that came out, different variant card games that came out, and none of them really seem to have taken off, even though Digimon is extremely popular, and it's still, I think, even more popular now that the original generation that started with it grew up, we're adults now. So, and since they revamped Digimon, they brought the series back, they revamped it. I think there's a new Digimon movie out even. So, it's only natural that Bandai is going to capitalize on that and make a TCG or CC. Everybody keeps saying it's a TCG, but they look more like collectible cards than they do actual playing cards. So, I think it's a CCG, but, whichever. I mean, they're going to capitalize on that. So I'm super excited that we're going to get the Digimon English release come, early 2021. It's already been released in Japan, I think, as of end of October, November, somewhere around there. It was already released in Japan and huge hits. I mean, it took off in Japan. They're already got tournaments going in Japan with the Digimon TCG, so we can expect to see big things. A lot of the cards, which I'll show you guys here in a little bit, we'll go to the website. I can kind of show you what some of the card art and stuff looks like. It really looks amazing. So if you want to learn more about the upcoming TCG itself, you can go to DigimonCard.com. I will leave a link down in the description box for that as well. They got full rule books, everything that you need to actually learn the game and get started on the game before it even releases. So I'm really happy about that. And so before we get into DigimonCard.com, I kind of want to talk about the market and how the market's going to change once this kind of releases here in the States. Kind of what we're seeing now versus what I think we're probably going to see once the release actually hits in January. So what I've seen on DigimonCard.com as far as prices go for the pre-releases that's coming out in January is that we're seeing booster packs. These are 12 card booster packs, and they're MSRP on those, it's about $3.99 tentatively. Now that's probably going to change once it gets closer to release. We might see a small spike in the market, of course, because it's going to be, the demand is going to be way up here. And so, that price is going to get driven upwards until the demand is met, and then we'll probably see that come down off their booster packs. We are getting 3 starter decks. We're getting Red Gaia, I think, Calculus Blue, and Heaven Yellow. So those are going to be the 3 starter decks that we're going to be getting as well. Now those vary in price. So Gaia Red, of course, you know, that's where we're going to see like SkullGreymon and stuff like that. It's going to be much more sought after. So right now the MSRP on that sitting right around 34, 35 bucks tentatively right now. Calculus Blue, I think, is sitting right around 15, and Heaven Yellow is sitting right about 20 bucks for these MSRP tentatively. Again, before that releases, and a lot of those are probably going to go up a little bit. You know, where they're sitting at right now is about a normal price that we see coming off a starter deck, you know, coming out of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. So, you know, they're not far off there. I think their 12 card booster packs are a little low, but again, that's a tentative deal that we see on the website. You know, $3.99. You know, you can kind of see that depending on some sets through Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon and even Magic the Gathering. But if this is going to take off, you know, like I think it is, at least for a short period of time, you know, they're probably, it seems like they're underselling those booster packs as of right now. So doing a little bit more research on boxes, you know, me being a seller and a consumer, you know, I'm trying to figure out what the best route to go. Right now, their version 0.0 booster packs, which is like their promo packs to set everything up, you can't find them. You can't get them anywhere. Everybody's sold out. They're not releasing them anymore. So for those of you, if you did get a chance to get the version 0.0 and you haven't opened it yet, don't open it. Keep it sealed. Because I think in a few years, that thing is going to be worth, you know, buku bucks. There's just promo cards in there just to kind of get everybody into the game, to kind of see what's coming. If you have some, don't open them. That's my thought behind it, because no, you can't get them right now, and I don't think they're making any more of that version 0.0. So the next version that's coming out is the 1.0, which, again, that's going to be our full release come January. Even on their website, it says it's subject to change, so we'll see. As long as nothing gets delayed, we'll see that around the end of January hitting stores. Now, looking at what some of these pre-releases are going to cost, we can get a booster box of booster packs. I think it's like 34 or 36 booster packs for anywhere between $120 to $140, depending on who's selling and stuff like that. That's not bad. That's actually really, really reasonable. You know, even if you hit it in the middle at like $130, $135 for a booster box, that's actually really good in my opinion. I mean, you try to buy some booster boxes from Pokemon or even like Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, you could spend upwards to $200, maybe even $300 depending on what that set is. You know, your lower sets, you're probably going to hit about, you know, $130, $140, sometimes $150, but more of your sought out sets are going to be hitting closer to $200 to $300 for a booster box. So, you know, about $120 some odd dollars, that's really not bad. Looking into cases, so a case of your booster boxes right now is sitting right around $1,000. So again, that's not bad. You know, $1,000 to get a case of booster boxes to start distributing either single packs or boxes themselves, you know, or if you're a store and you're opening up and you're getting single cards, you know, $1,000 really not bad. And I think early on, if you can tie in now and start getting a lot of that stuff pre-ordered now, so when you get it on drop day, you're going to make that money, and you're going to make that money back pretty quick. Again, starting out. My biggest worry with the Digimon TCG as of right now is traditional Bandai issues. Okay, with traditional Bandai issues, again, DBZ fell short. Naruto fell short. Granted, we got a revamp in Super, but the anime is still going right now. And I'm afraid that even with Dragon Ball Super, once the anime stops, that's going to die out as well. So again, I'm worried that that's going to happen with Digimon. Looking at these new cards and kind of just scanning over the rule book, it's very similar play styles to Naruto and Dragon Ball, and I'm afraid that once the series ends or, you know, comes to a close, we're going to have that drastic decline. Granted, my old school Dragon Ball Z cards have held value very well, but still not really where, you know, we're seeing numbers coming out of Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, which is to be expected. The big three controls the market. I think that's always how that's going to be. I'm not worried about any of the big three, you know, damaging the Digimon TCG on the market. I don't see that happening. I think Digimon has a very solid enough fan base that's going to keep that going for quite a while. So I'm hoping that this card game turns out very well. I'm going to, get a rule book out and go through the actual mechanics, because a lot of the mechanics, if it's too overcomplicated, you're going to kill the game right there. And I think that's why a lot of the early card games from the original series of Digimon kind of died out. So that's just kind of like my take on it right now. Come March or February into March, they're going to release half boosters. So you're going to get version 1.5 boosters. That's going to come out after the initial release of 1.0 in January. So very shortly after January, come February and March, we're going to start seeing the half boosters, which we're going to see, I believe it's just theory or rumor right now, we're going to start seeing some more promo cards, stuff like that. But going through the card list that we have as of right now on their website, I mean, we're getting full art cards of our, main 3 Digimon, which is fantastic. So I'm really glad that they're bringing out full arts. They're bringing out, the holo cards, and the artwork looks amazing. So let's dig a little bit deeper into that. I'm going to take you guys over to the DigimonCard.com, and we're going to take a look at the card list and see what some of these cards look like, and just kind of go over some of the artwork and see how individually these cards might fare in the market with the big 3. Alright guys, so this is DigimonCard.com. So again, it's world.digimoncard.com. Again, link down in the description box if you want to check this website out. So here is the card list that we're looking at right now. That's going to come in the boosters, and that we're going to see in the starter decks as well. So starting off, I mean, the artwork looks really amazing anyway. It's clean, the colors are bold. I mean, just traditional Digimon cards. So once we start getting into our mains, like, hey, we have Agumon, and then we also have an alternative Agumon art as well, which is very cool. And they kind of give these little parody, Agumon Expert, stuff like that. So, the artwork is actually really cool. And the more that we get into our Digivolved Digimon, the better the artwork gets. That's a very cool Greymon there. Tyrannomon, Birdramon, that's awesome artwork. I mean, look at that. That's so cool. We go into Dark Tyrannoron. Groundramon, Metal Greymon, it just looks awesome to me. Metal Greymon is just absolutely amazing. And then the SkullGreymon. That SkullGreymon, it won't let me really zoom in much more than that, but you can see that SkullGreymon is cool. I mean, the artwork that they've put into these cards is fantastic. So I'm really excited about that. And then, of course, we have War Greymon, and then we have our alternative art, War Greymon, as well. So just all in all, I mean, I think these cards are going to do very well. I'm probably going to assume that, early on, these cards are going to be, full holo cards. They're going to be beautiful cards. I don't know exactly what kind of rarities are going to be coming out in this yet. I really can't find anything on that. So I don't know if there's going to be like secret rare equivalents that kind of like you see in Yu-Gi-Oh! That kind of have that, star pattern that we're starting to see more in Pokemon and stuff too. I don't know if they're going to have that or not, so I can't really say much. But I think early on, cards like this, especially if they're going to be full holo cards, I think they're going to go for pretty good amount of money. I think something like this, like a War Greymon full holo coming out of the first booster pack, I think for a while that's probably might be about a $20 to $40 card, probably. Like I said, don't quote me on that. That's just kind of what I'm thinking. And of course, a lot more of the rarer cards that we're probably going to see out of these sets are going to be well up there in price. So it doesn't look like there's really a whole lot coming out of the blues just yet, but we have looks like a full card art Metal Garurumon, and then we also have the alternative art Metal Garurumon as well. So of course, if they're only going to release a couple alternative arts within these sets, those are going to bump those prices up as well, especially if they do release them as full holo alternative arts. We'll probably end up seeing, maybe $40 to $60 out of those, depending on kind of what the ratios that they have set up coming out of these packs. So really, I mean, it's just the artwork still, I mean, I know I keep saying the artwork, but it's just amazing. They did a really good job. These cards look really clean, and I'm excited to see what they're going to look like in person. You know, like this Magna Angemon looks fantastic. That was one of my favorite Digimon growing up, was Angemon. So it looks awesome. Really, really clean. Again, the bold colors, and you know, a lot of detail for such a small card. So again, and we can see just about anything and everything. They have an about section here on the DigimonCard.com. Rules, they have the official rule book, general questions and answers, stuff like that. And I'm going to kind of sit and go through all of this myself, just so that way I kind of understand it and know what we've got coming come January. So I don't know about you guys. I'm really excited about it, but again, I'm really skeptical. You know, I'm just worried about Bandai's track record with releasing CCGs and TCGs. It's something that hasn't stuck. It just won't last. And I know Bandai's a big company. I'm a huge fan of Bandai. I think they're a fantastic company, but it's hard to compete with Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering. I mean, they dominate the market, and we as people are just creatures of habit, right? And so, I mean, we start into something new, but when it doesn't mesh with what we already know and what we've already learned, we just tend to kind of stray away from it. So, you know, depending on how the mechanics are actually going to work out, I think is really going to determine how long these Digimon cards or this Digimon TCG is going to last in the future. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. Again, I'm super excited. I mean, I'm a huge Digimon fan. Always was, always has been when it first came out, everything. So I really hope that this is going to do very well. I think a lot of these cards early on are going to start flipping the market upside down a little bit. You know, I don't think that these cards within themselves are going to do anything against Pokemon, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Magic. You know, those guys are pretty well set, and their markets are kind of all over the place right now anyway because of the pandemic. But Digimon being Digimon and have their own type fan base, I think early on that market's going to kind of fluctuate a lot right now. I've been seeing a lot of stuff on eBay, you know, booster boxes being sold, English booster boxes being sold, you know, English starter decks and cards out of the starter decks being sold. If you guys are checking into that stuff, I mean, be careful with it, because again, none of that's really released until January of 2021, so a lot of the stuff that's getting sold is probably like either early promo stuff or just, you know, stuff that they won in a sweepstakes or something like that. So the prices kind of seem to be a little bit inflated to me with some of these people on eBay selling this stuff. That I just feel like a lot of these prices, compared to what I've seen on other sources like TCG Player and stuff, and coming off of DigimonCard.com, it's just a little bit inflated and not really quite sure how you've already got product when it hasn't even been released yet. So just be careful about that stuff. I don't sell on eBay. I don't like selling on eBay, but eBay is a good source for me to just kind of like back check everything and compare it to more reputable companies like TCG Player and PSA, you know, for grading and stuff like that. So that's just kind of like my neutral comparison that I've been using to get more accurate results as far as prices and stuff from the market, if that makes sense. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, if you did, hit that like button. I got links down below to tcgplayer.com. Again, fantastic website. We use them a lot. So be sure to hit that link. Check it out. A lot of this stuff is already set up for pre-order, and according to some of the businesses that sell on tcgplayer.com, a lot of these packs and boxes and stuff will not ship out till January 29th. That's tentatively, until we get like an official release date for this new TCG. So just be prepared. Buy them up now. Get a hold of them now, because I know inventory is running low on a lot of this. So if you have the chance to, buy it up. If you're a business owner, buy these up now, because I think early on you're going to make a killing flipping them. So I hope you guys are being safe out there. Be sure to wash your hands. We'll catch you in the next video.